Bernhard Raimann was the steal of this draft when it comes to the offensive line position, and I think the Indianapolis Colts have their future left tackle. Today, we're going to break down the tape of Raimann because I think he is a really good tackle and he brings so much to the Colts. And I think based off of his athletic profile, I think he's going to fit right in with the Frank Reich zone scheme, and I think he's going to end up beating out Matt Pryor for the starting position. Now, of course, Bernhard does have to get better in certain spots, and we'll talk about those in just a second. But let's break down some of his tape and really discuss why I think this guy has so much going for him. Now, to start things off, I want to start with his biggest asset, which is his run blocking. The guy does a great job processing what the defense is doing, and this is a great example of that play. He's going to double down on the defensive tackle who was lined up in the 2-tech over the left guard, and he's going to reach to the inside of that defensive lineman. Now, at the same time, you have a tight end coming on a wham block, and Raimann is actually going to pass off that defensive tackle to the tight end that's coming on a wham block. Now, keep in mind, this is not predetermined. This is solely based off of where these guys are kind of aligned. Raimann sees that this defensive tackle is basically playing the outside, and he sees where the linebacker is relative to the play, and he's going to jump up to that linebacker and seal him off. Now, in my opinion, the running back could have cut this sooner and probably picked up more yards. But either way, I kind of just want to show you guys the process of what Raimann does in any given play. Now, this isn't a one-time thing. He does this throughout the course of watching his tape. Check this next play out. This is a split zone to the right. Bernhard Raimann and the tight end number 83 have to basically block the defensive tackle and that linebacker. The thing with the zone block is you're really not blocking a man. You're more so blocking a gap or an area. Now, in this zone concept, Raimann is basically responsible for anyone to his inside gap, and number 83 is responsible for anyone that is on the outside or to the left of Raimann. Now, as this play continues, you're going to see that linebacker actually ends up to the outside of number 83. So Raimann processes this and ends up sticking with the defensive lineman. And this play ends up popping for a huge gain. This is why teams love to run the zone scheme. If one defensive lineman jumps out of his run fit, or if one offensive lineman can win, the play could hit for a big gain if the running back just reads it correctly. And if you just watch Raimann's tape, you see examples over and over and over again, overtaking linebackers, sealing off defensive tackles, pushing guys out of the gap, and just being able to do all these various types of blocks. And truth be told, Raimann is a dominant run blocker. Now, of course, to be fair, he does have some developmental things that he has to work on, specifically in his pass blocking. For me, the biggest flaw that Raimann has is he's not a natural puncher. He's not naturally aggressive in pass blocking. Now, it's not a huge deal because he'll work on it as he gets into the league. But right now, this is the one criticism I have of him. On this play right here, you see that he's going to get his hand on the backside of this defensive end. And ultimately, when you put your hands to the outside, you're giving up your chest. And in this play, the defensive end pushes him back into the quarterback. Of course, Raimann does finish the block because the defensive end does jump. But play after play, you see the quarterback having a guy in his face and the quarterback having to move. And in this play right here, when you really slow it down, you see Bernhard Raimann basically doing the same thing. You're going to see those hands kind of wind up and come around to the outside. He's basically going to catch this defensive end. Now, of course, he kind of leaves his chest open and the defensive end bull rushes him backwards. Now, it's not just the hands that kind of worry me. Sometimes his technique's all over the place as well. Like, his footwork doesn't look right. He looks off balance. And I worry how many of these plays are going to end up in holding calls in the NFL. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. There's so much to build on with Bernhard Raimann. In fact, I'd argue that 90% of his pass blocking reps are really, really good. Of course, I selectively took a couple that concerned me. And truth be told, I can show you guys 100 snaps of him doing a great job. And ultimately, will he develop once he gets into the league? Absolutely. Bernhard Raimann is going to get so much better by the time the actual season comes around for his rookie year. And he may give up 10 sacks. Who cares? Going into year 2, the guy could potentially become a superstar, Pro Bowl type of caliber player. Like, that is the type of talent that this guy has. Now, personally, I think Raimann is super smart. He has everything you want from an offensive lineman. He's very quick, can reach well, do all the little things you need in terms of run blocking. I think he will get better in pass blocking, especially since he's playing next to one of the best offensive linemen in the entire league. And I think he will beat out Matt Pryor. I mean, think about it. Pryor signed a one-year contract worth $5.5 million. And I think that tells you what the general manager and coach kind of think about Pryor. He's basically a short-term option for the Colts. He's basically going to be here for a short period of time. The hope is that Bernhard Raimann beats him out and you don't have to bring him back next year. At the same time, I think Pryor is a fantastic swing tackle. Could play left tackle, could play right tackle, could even play some guard if needed, but I wouldn't rely on him to be the future starting left tackle. I think that's going to be Bernhard Raimann. And of course, people are going to talk about the fact that he is 25 years old, which you can make the argument is a flaw of Raymond's, but I think Raimann is going to develop really quickly. I think by the time Raimann is 26 years old, going into year 2, he is going to be a top 15 left tackle in the league, and he's only going to keep ascending upwards. I truly believe that what Raimann has already shown on tape during college is going to allow him to be a really good football player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something new. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another film.